Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast, the show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Iesha, Jimmy, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live. Comic Book Corner.
Messed it up again. Good morning. Welcome to Habari Live, where we keep you updated on the news, sports, and entertainment throughout the week. Like always, we are all the way live from Paradise Valley in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's get it going. And we all, like I say, I forget to say every week, we are live from Habari Studios. You know, that's important stuff. But I keep forgetting, you know what I mean? I get it together. You got a little lipstick there. But how's everybody week going so far?
Cool.
It's pretty chill
Man,
so far.
Y'all got to liven up, man. For real. I can't be the only person on 10 and y'all, yeah.
Man, it was amazing. Oh my God.
Come on, bro. Let's get
Many
pumped in this motherfucker.
There were so many great things that happened that I can't think of right now, but a lot happened.
Ain't nothing happened to me.
You're lame. Put the boo.
My week was pretty boring.
You're so depressing sometimes.
All the time.
Bring a happy face, even if you gotta fake it to make it, man. Let's get happy in this motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Language.
Let's get happy. We happy. We got a nice day in Phoenix, Arizona. You know what I mean? The sun's shining. It's like 65 degrees, right?
That's cool. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't really beat
But that don't
G.
mean that my week still can't be boring. I ain't did nothing all week.
You made it through the week, man. Be happy. Like, be joyful about life sometimes. Get pumped.
Okay.
Aisha's just lame. That's
you
her
see how she
personality.
took that? I'm like, let's get happy. Okay. I'm taking that personal.
No.
What?
The fact that you don't think that I can still be happy and still say that my week was boring.
Well, my love, it's not
my
about,
week had no excitement.
It's not about.
There was nothing.
This is like an episode of Love and Hip Hop.
It's not about if your week was boring. It's about how enthusiastic you are about
my boring ass week.
Right. I'm saying, like, hey, I was with my kid. You know what I'm saying? I spent the week with you. Make things better by saying things better. But that's negativity. You know what I mean? But whatever, man.
Negativity. He said negativity.
Whatever it is, negativity.
He said negativity.
What's up with it, Lonzo? Yeah, man. So you gotta understand, man. We all trying to make it through the week and be happy.
That's understandable.
Uh-huh.
However,
right.
Not everybody is gonna be on that same level of 10 the way you are.
I'm faking
every day.
I just fake it to make it, especially for the cameras. You know what I'm saying? We just faking it.
And now, this week's Habari News
I'm actually
Weekly
happy. I don't know
with
about y'all,
Damon
though.
Dipleen Ellison.
Hey, but if you ain't happy, you
Sponsored
fake
by-
it till you make it. You know what I mean? That's how life is. We just, especially for this situation, for the show, man, you can't be dead. But here's the news this week. We got the main story that we want to talk about was Tom Horne, who is the educational
I'm asleep.
what's his name? What is he here?
Superintendent.
Yeah, I think he's the superintendent of education. Let me make sure real fast. But Tom Horne, he did his this week. He did his his message for the year to let people know which direction the schools are going to be going. He's the Arizona superintendent in public instruction. So his main point of getting in office was he's been there before, and our education sucked in Arizona then, and it sucks now. But he comes in and he's talking about the things that he wants to change and the things that he thinks needs to be implemented to get us going in the right direction and stop being in the bottom of education like we all Republican states are. That's Republican led. So his Number one thing that he wants to do to help the kids get smarter, take away all the distractions of critical race theory. That's his plan. His plan.
But critical race theory isn't taught
He said, don't believe the urban myth that it's not taught in school, in lower educations. Don't believe that urban myth, is what he said. This dude is a clown, man. He's a clown, and it is sad that we let this punk go through and voted for him. We did pretty good at making the ticket Democrat all the way down, but for some reason we let this clown into the superintendent, man. You know,
it's pretty sad,
man. It's dude is a clown. Critical race theory is gonna
because President Woodrow, or no, was it Carter G. Woodson?
Who the hell is that?
Who? No, he wasn't a president.
I'm sure
he was a historian. He was a historian.
Okay.
He said that it is important,
right,
for people to know Black history, because if they don't know it, then that means that there is no history for us.
Well,
and if we don't teach it, then we lose it.
Then I don't. But the thing is, babe, I don't think that that's not what they're trying to do.
They're trying to get rid of critical race theory, which is
they're not trying to get rid of history. They're trying to whitewash it. They don't want anything in there that's gonna make them feel bad. They don't want to feel bad, so they want to talk about slavery, but they want to say that
they want it to be like gone like the wind.
Slave masters and they were really nice to the slaves, and they held hands, and they
sang kumbaya, but they didn't.
all skipped together, and everything was great. This is what they want. They don't want to feel bad for looking at history, so they want the story to be told, but they don't want anything in there that might make them feel bad, and they don't want anything in there that's gay. Anything that's gay, anything that they deem as woke, as they say nowadays, which is the dumbest shit. They don't even know what it means. They're so dumb. They talking about woke. I was telling this dude the other day,
go back to sleep.
Woke is just what people used to say, don't sleep. Don't sleep, dog. The next iteration is that, man, stay woke. You know what I mean?
Right.
Make sure that you understand what's going on. Now they just think, oh, they put a Black person, they're trying to be woke. What is wrong with these people? Oh, they put in somebody gay. Look at them. They're Disney's woke. Dude, you're fucking dumb. You have no idea what it means. Just because they're trying to be more progressive is what's that called. They're trying to be more inclusive is what's that is called. Like, they're so dumb. And this is their whole, everything that they're basing on. You got the dude in Florida. He's acting Ron DeSantis. He's acting a fool, doing everything, trying to tell Black people what history that they should be looking at and can't see. Telling them, oh, we don't want to see gay people in your history.
Well, that's what that's why they don't want to. That's why they don't want critical race theory to be taught to begin with.
It's making them feel bad.
It's making it's not who they are.
It's making them feel bad. They feel as though that Black people are disliking white people because of the social advantages that they are getting, and they don't want to feel bad because of that. And they think that those things don't exist. They don't think that they have advantages that we don't have, that Black people don't have. They don't believe that. They think that racism is reverse racism is the worst problem, is what they think. You know, that's what they're thinking nowadays.
In that movie I was watching last night, the Eddie Murphy movie that just came out, You People.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Yeah. It looked pretty bad.
Though the acting was bad.
The points of the movie.
I
don't know, man. I came in.
Were very relevant.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus was talking to old girl. What's her name? Lauren.
Lauren London.
Lauren London, and it was bad. That was a bad scene, bro. It's just her talking, and then Lauren London's face. I thought she was a better actor. She's not a great actor. I saw that thing.
Like I said,
she's bad.
Though the acting is bad.
I'm sorry.
Though the acting is bad.
Yeah, she's bad. I thought
The
she
points
was a
of the
better
movie
actor than
were
that.
very valid.
Yeah.
Being that they touched on a lot of. So Eddie Murphy played the disapproved father.
I understood. It took
You
me
know what
2
movie that
seconds
remind me
to
of?
see it, man.
And
Remember that old? It was like it's not an old movie, but like came out
Guess
like
Who?
2005.
Guess
Guess
Who?
Who?
Yeah. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner or something like that.
I think it's just called Guess Who.
Yeah. It's about Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. But Ashton Kutcher
And
yeah.
Bertie Mac.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought of.
It's the same play. They've done that movie a million times. But
that one's actually funny.
what was you saying?
But yeah, they touched a lot on how interracial families interact with each other when the people just began dating. So when Jonah Hill started dating Lauren London in the movie, neither one of their parents, they were both basically showing how ignorant the other parent was towards the culture in which their child was
Right.
was
But like
dating
you just
outside
said,
of.
you'd never seen that movie?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's why I just didn't.
Yeah, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and Guess Who is the same premise. You can, we didn't know you didn't see it, man. Whatever.
Somebody said, "Don't let the oppressors teach your children." And he said, "Word for order to complain about reverse racism, they have to admit that racism exists in the first place, and
right.
they don't."
Mm-hmm. And that's true. They don't want to even and say that race even exists. There's no racism, no such thing as racism. But then they want to say reverse racism. Like, how can you have it both ways? This is the things that confuse people. But like I say all the time, with these races and these Republicans, the goalposts move all the time. They're always moving the goalposts. They never have a straight answer for anything. Everything that they do is just about slogans and words. That's all they're about. Make America great. With the woke. Oh, we're against the Black Lives Matter. That's all they're about is slogans and bull. They're not about really solving issues and problems. They just want to make more slogans and have more words, stuff to be mad about. You mad because people saying don't be woke, man. All these woke people, like they so ignorant, and that's all they talk about on Fox News. Tucker Carlson, that's all they talk about is being woke. All these woke people they're killing America. It's so dumb, dog. It's so ignorant, and this is all their own, man. So, you know what I mean? We got to do something, man. We got to vote. We got to stop letting people like Tom Horne get in office, man. We let rich people make decisions for the poor people. These people ain't going to public school. We are. They send their school, they children to private school. And this dude coming in making decisions for public school, he don't send his kids to public school. None of these Republicans in this state do. They don't care about it. And they just want to see it be demolished and destroyed. They do everything they can to tear it apart because they do not care about your education. They do not. They'll take every cent away from public school if they could. What, they took money from public school and tried to give it to the private schools.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is how crazy they are. Like, these people already have money and they tried to give them more to fuck the public schools as much as they can.
Private school,
man, fuck them, man. You get on my nerves.
Typically, their parents pay tuition.
That's what I'm saying. School. They're already making money,
right?
So why are we giving public school money?
Right.
So they talking about, oh, if you in a public school, you go in a private school. That money that was allocated for you for a public school is going to follow you to a private school. Is what they did.
But it won't. And it doesn't.
Okay.
How's that money going to follow you from a private school?
Your taxes. Your tax money won't go to them. The public school, it will go to the private school. Your tax money. Your school, your child, if he doesn't go to private school, public school, his money will be going. So Katie, what's Hobbs? Mm-hmm. She already tried to strike it down. She already trying to take that shit down. Because it's the dumbest stuff you ever heard of in your life. That is ignorant. Why would we take money from public schools? I don't care if you're not going to it. all the kids, they can take their money away. And that's school choice. We're taking our money is not going to that school. They don't care about the school in the neighborhood anymore.
You can give that huge thank you to Barry Goldwater.
Yeah, all these ignorance. They think it's dumb. They think it's
He
so
started it.
smart that you're gonna say, I see a public school right there,
Right across the street.
but I'm not gonna help to take care of that. I'm gonna send my kids to Scottsdale. Fuck that
10
school.
miles away.
Fuck that school. I'm gonna send them over here. This school is demolished. Then you crying about crime. Oh, we gotta move. Now we gotta move. You're sending all your money to the rich area.
Mhm.
Like, I don't understand why they don't get it. You're making them richer and the poor neighborhoods worse. I don't get it. And then they run. Oh, we got to get out of here. There's no education. These kids have no future. You're not giving them options. What do you think is going to happen? Anyway, more news.
Entertainment news.
But it's also the curriculum too that's being taught, and the way
Yeah.
the curriculum is being taught.
I mean,
here
I can't
in
blame it all
Arizona.
on that, man. The curriculum is not the blame. Everybody want to keep blaming the teachers and the curriculum.
I'm not saying it's the teachers, because the teachers have no control over the curriculum that they.
Right. But
Some teachers do
but if
create their
you-
own
If
curriculums,
you work in the education
but
realm, we're calling you pretty much a teacher. Principals, we're calling teachers. You know what I mean? We're principals, whoever making the decisions with education. They're not making the best decisions for everyone, but they're not always making the best decisions. But it's not all on them. Also, you know what I mean? They got politicians making
So-
decisions for them too. Who's doing dumb shit and taking things away that people are offered. So it's not that easy where you can just say it's on the schools.
how can schools like the East Coast, from where I'm from,
Mhm.
for example, the curriculum and the way that they teach it, it's not backwards.
Well,
For example, in Virginia, it's when you get to high school, it's you learn your earth science first, then you learn your biology, and then you go on,
but you're
right?
comparing apples to oranges, man.
But in Arizona, you don't learn earth science until almost your last year, which should be your fundamental earth sciences for high school.
right, but
So the way the curriculums are taught, they're backwards, they're different, they're all over the
that
place. They're
doesn't
not
matter,
the
though.
same.
Do you really think that matters?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how you think that's going to make a difference for these kids when the funding is not there. The way you put your curriculum together is not going to matter if you don't have the funding for the kids. When you have 40 kids in a classroom. Those aren't the things that's going to change this. The things that's needed is we need to pay the teachers more. We need to give more funding to the schools. It doesn't matter what order the curriculum is in. It's not going to really matter. We need to focus and they get these teachers got 40 kids in the classroom, 35 kids. What are they going to do? How can you teach that? You need to have about 15 kids at the most.
So that means larger school campuses for elementary, preschool, Head Start, all of that, daycare. That means that starting at these levels, there has to be more than, because when you put a kid in daycare, there's probably five daycare workers in there, and there's probably 40 kids.
But you're not teaching in daycare.
Yeah, they do.
But you don't have.
Daycares teach also.
It's not a curriculum in daycare, my love. It's just them they don't have a educational.
Yes, they do.
All right, man.
Daycare has educational components to it as well.
All right, so because you can flunk the daycare. You can be held back in daycare, my love. But you could come. You just want to argue with me this morning. You're being
It's
ridiculous.
not that. It's the fact that you don't think that daycare workers don't teach the kids anything. They just there. They'll just watch them just run around and just.
They do teach them the ABCs, but they don't have a curriculum. You can't flunk daycare. That's what I'm saying. The school doesn't matter until you start getting into first, second, third, fourth, and fifth grade.
The grading system doesn't count until kindergarten, first grade.
Right.
However, daycares do have a curriculum on what
So
they
what are
need
you
to teach
saying?
the kids.
So what are you saying? That these teachers should be able to handle those amount of kids?
What I'm saying is,
Okay.
if the daycare has 5 workers per 40 kids, then the classrooms need to have more teachers for the kids in the classroom as well. Simple connection. Daycare has five workers, 6 workers. How many ever workers in there, right?
Yeah, that's
There's
what I was-
40 kids around.
All right.
You go to a kindergarten classroom, or there's 2. You got the teacher and the teacher's aide. As you get in more, as you go higher in education, I think it's what, like 2nd grade, 3rd grade, the teacher's aide drops off until you get back into high school, until you get into high school, when there's a second person there to help the teacher. So if there's only one person in the room with 40 kids, that's not going to work. There needs to be more teachers in the classrooms, or break the classrooms down into smaller classrooms.
Right, but you do understand that.
There's also finances that go into it.
Hey,
You
that's
can't.
that's my whole point, man.
You can't
You
buy.
can't just do what you want.
Like,
takes
you can't.
teachers.
Yeah, that you got to buy more teachers. You got to.
And they
pay for
don't
more
want to
teachers.
give the funding to the schools. They keep taking the funding away. And the way they set this shit up now, where they're trying to give you funding by how many students you have, and then the students are not going to the school. So then they're taking funding away.
If you double the classes, if you double the teachers, you're going to double the classes. So it won't make no sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? You might as well just split it up.
You need. It's tough, man. They need more money. They need more funding. They need to pay these teachers more. Is the bottom line. In the East Coast, they fucking pay those teachers. They care about those teachers, and they treat them a lot better than they do out here. These people out here, they got to strike to get anything, and then they struck. They went on strike. We passed the bill for them, and Republicans still rejected it. They still rejected it and said, we're not giving it to you. And these are people who vote. They vote for this crap. They took the money away from teachers who are trying to help the kids, and they're okay with that. Nah, fuck them kids. Like, it's crazy, bro.
Well, we're in the era of F them kids, because
It's crazy.
that's what everybody
I
says.
mean, that's what Republicans are on. I mean, it's insane when they just straight up just saying, forget the kids, we don't care. But we're gonna move on.
And now, this week's Habari News Weekly with Damon Dipling Ellison.
Let's take a quick break.
Sponsored by...
Let's do it.
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Iesha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment, a race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
Yo. Welcome back. Habari Live. We got Iesha, we got Jimmy.
Yay!
So let's get into this story. We got the Chinese spy balloon changes course, floating over central United States and the Pentagon. A Chinese spy balloon has changed course. It is now floating eastward at about 60,000 feet, 18,300 meters, over the central United States, demonstrating a capability to maneuver. The U.S. military said on Friday, in the latest twist to a spying saga that led U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken to postpone a visit to China. The disclosure about the spy balloon's maneuverability directly challenges China's assertion that the balloon was merely a civilian airship that had strayed into U.S. territory after being blown off course.
They really tried to say that?
Yeah, that's what they said. We know this is a Chinese surveillance balloon and that it has the ability to maneuver. Air Force Brigadier General Patrick Ryder told a news briefing at the Pentagon, declining to say precisely how it was powered or who in China was controlling the flight path. U.S. President Joe Biden on Wednesday decided against shooting down a balloon as it floated over Montana due to U.S. military concerns about the likely dispersal of debris. And so, I don't know, man. yesterday while we was listening to some people talk, we were heard them say that we've had a lot of spy stuff that's been
Mhm.
shot down over Russia and China and Iraq and
Going
Iran
back
and
to, I think it was like the 60s or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that?
So we can't say too much. I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, look at this," but America's probably one of the worst at this. We love spying on other people and seeing what they doing. So now they doing it to us. This is not the first time a China spy balloon has been seen. I think it was another time also. So these are type of games that's being played right now with Russia, China, Middle Easterns. That this is type stuff we going through with them. A lot of people think that war with China is inevitable and that something will go that route. I hope not. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see war. You don't want to go those routes. But we keep playing around with the Pacific Asian countries and the people that we say we have their back over in there in the Asian. What is it? Southeast Asian Sea. Something like that. But anyway, we're with those countries, and so it's not looking good, man. So hopefully things change on that front. But let's go to the next story here. We got domestic violence orders. People under domestic violence orders can own guns. The U.S. Appeals Court rules. The number one problem we have with guns is domestic violence, and women are the first people who are the most hurt by these guns when their counterparts kill them in these relationships. This is something that's the most prevalent crime when it comes to guns. And the U.S. Court, Appeals Court, it's okay for domestic abusers to have a gun. I mean, dude, dog, I, I just don't get it. I don't think they're trying to stop crime anymore, man.
They're
It's
not.
it's just we're not trying to stop crime. We're just
It
trying to
just
make these people who are like, oh, I'm a gun nut. I don't like nothing against the Second Amendment. Second Amendment.
Mhm.
That's all they care about, man. Let's just make them happy. Let's just make everybody have guns. There's just guns everywhere. We got so many mass shootings. We have what 33, 34 already this year. It's been a month.
Mhm.
Like one every day. Like, dog.
Sometimes 2 a day,
Ah, man.
it seemed like.
The decision by a three-judge panel of the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals is the latest victory for gun rights advocates. Since the Supreme Court ruling last June granting a broad right for people to carry firearms outside the home, that ruling, New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin announced a new test for assessing firearm laws, saying restrictions must be consistent with this nation's historical tradition of firearm regulation. So anybody can have them. Oh, man, dude.
So if that's the case, if anybody can have a gun in what they saying, then nobody should go to jail for murder. Nobody should go to jail for any gun-related crime. And if your
Man.
6-year-old kid takes a gun to school and shoots somebody, you face 0 consequences for it because everybody can have a gun.
In Thursday's decision, Circuit Judge Corey Wilson said banning people under domestic violence restraining orders from owning guns embodies salutary policy goals meant to protect vulnerable people in our society. I don't even know what the fuck that means. But the judge appointed by Donald Trump said that Bruin ruling made such a consideration irrelevant and that from a historical perspective, the ban was an outlier that our ancestors would have never accepted. They kill me talking about our ancestors all the time. No, you talking about the slave owners? And this is the type of shit that they don't want to hear about when they talk about the
Right.
woke. They don't want to hear that. Though they made bad decisions. They own slaves. They don't get to be the high and mighty and all whatever they say go. We have to admit how many of they things that decisions that they've made.
Right.
So why are we gonna sit here and act like they didn't make any bad decisions?
They don't want to teach critical
Dude,
race theory because
on my
it makes
fucking
them
nerves,
feel
man.
bad about what their
Look, man.
ancestors did. But they can quote their ancestors and
But
say that we should
anything
be
else,
able
we
to
can
have
keep guns,
guns
we
and
can
keep
keep
all
this.
this and all that and be
Man,
able to
dog.
do whatever we want to do.
It gets on my nerves, dude.
I call bullshit.
They
And you
know
can stick it up your ass.
they know there were laws against guns back then. They can say whatever they want to. Even when
There
the
were
Second
strict
Amendment,
laws about
you couldn't go
for
into the
guns.
bars with guns. There were certain towns you couldn't even bring a gun into town. You couldn't go. It was areas you couldn't go with guns. To act like there were no laws on the books back then is so ridiculous, man.
Our ancestors let us have guns.
They getting on my nerves so bad. And they take
but your
the
ancestors
laws,
was also slave owners.
right. So that means that they were wrong about a lot of shit. And to think to take somebody from 1776 and put them in today's 2023 and say, oh, let's keep the laws the same as they would have. That sounds retarded. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard of in my life. What the hell? 1776 and 2023. And we
Right.
telling us the law should be the same. People lived on 40 acres by themselves.
Right.
Now you just got a little bitty apartment when you got 1,000 people on top of you. Like, it's not the same, bro. It's not the same life. But anyway, so the Senate Democrats, they're trying to push to restrict marketing of guns to children. We've seen an uptick of kids getting their hands on guns, kids killing themselves or killing other kids or their parents with guns. We've seen a school teacher, 6-year-old, shoot a school teacher. We're seeing little kids getting their hands on guns, and it's been horrible consequences. We have to do something. The Republicans, who cares? Teacher, shoot them all. That's how they feel. They hate education because they're ignorant. Then we don't. Our kids. When I saw Sandy Hook and all those little kids died and nobody cared and they went on with their life and said we're not changing one gun law. That's when I knew that these people was crazy. Straight up. We just saw 6-year-olds get their head blown off and everybody okay with it and going on with their life.
And not
like
one
it's
law
wrong.
changed.
We ain't changing nothing.
In fact, they made it more accessible for you to get guns.
I mean, it's insane, bro. They don't even want to. I mean, your kid, long as it is not their kid, they don't care. And their mind won't change until it's their kid. Then they're on the news. Oh, we gotta do something about these. Nah, man. Why didn't you say that when it was so-and-so's kid? You didn't care until it knocked on your door.
Yep.
Nah, man, that shit's bullshit. Anyway, let's get into some tech news. Jury rules in Elon Musk favor in securities fraud trial. He was
I picked the wrong picture for that then.
The jury deliberated for less than 2 hours before finding Musk is not liable for losses incurred by investors based on the tweet, avoiding a verdict that could have potentially cost him billions of dollars in damages. He can't even take any more damages right now, man. The dude been losing enough with Twitter. You know what I'm saying? He can't keep taking losses, so
that's all he taking this year.
Yeah, but he deserves it. He's an asswipe.
I think Tesla barely. I think don't quote me. They barely made a profit this last quarter.
I hate it because I own stock in Tesla, but to see the way it's going, man, and the way things are going, man, he's been killing Tesla stock for the last years with his mouth. He's been doing everything he can.
Pretty soon, Tesla stock is going to bottom out.
And the cars had to cut the price.
They had to drop the price on the even the new ones that's just now coming out.
And the thing is, though, that everybody's cutting the price too. The Ford with the Mach-E, the Mustang Mach-E, they've cut the price on that too.
Yeah, and that was another reason why Tesla ended up cutting the prices on their newest models is because everybody now has a comparable, compatible.
Wait to the Japanese and the Chinese and the Koreans get in there, and their prices
and the Germans and
their cars expensive, but their car is going to be cheap, where they're going to be able to give you an electric car for $20,000,
right?
And going to give you 600 miles on it
to the charge.
You know what I mean? And we Tesla charging you $100,000 and giving you 400. And then all this money it takes to fix them and keep it all ready. But
I think I read an article that was saying that it was this couple that did a road trip from somewhere like here to San Diego.
Oh, we got a call.
and they were saying they had to stop and charge the car like 8 times in within that distance. Like, how do you find charging stations between here and there 8 separate times?
Well, I mean, yeah, that would be tough, but you know, it's
And Tesla, like you said, is supposed to go off 400 miles per charge. So that was kind of crazy to me to see that they had to stop that many times to charge the vehicle.
how do you? Why can you connect that to Bluetooth? It's annoying. Anyway, man. So let's get into some comics.
Turn the Bluetooth on the device.
Let's get into some comics here. You said you shouldn't have to pair with it again. It should have already been paired.
Go ahead with the news.
I can't see my thing. Let's see here.
Comic Book Corner.
Let's get into some comic book news. My bad about that. Let's see. Last week we had a pretty hairy episode of Last of Us. Anyway,
He's the only one who laughs at the.
she ain't even paying me no attention.
I was trying
I
to do
wasn't even
something.
watching it.
Sorry.
You ain't watched it yet? Well,
Yeah, you might not want to watch that episode.
well,
Then, Jimmy.
yeah, he shouldn't mind. He a young kid, you know.
Oh my!
They don't have those connotations connected with the new lifestyle. Well, it's not Lou, just it's just more open. But yeah, it was definitely a pretty manly episode. Two men. I ain't gonna call it manly. That ain't nothing manly. Just two men. Just yeah, it was tough, bro. Anyway, it
You
was
barely even watched the episode.
It was a good episode. I did have to not watch half of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not into watching men get it on. And I really don't even like watching regular couples get it on. It makes me uncomfortable. But
It says it's connected.
okay.
Bluetooth.
Sissy. No, I was kidding.
No, I'm just that's just not my thing, man. You know what I mean? I really don't. I've always been like that, dog. I'd never understood why sex scenes are in most movies. I just don't even get it. Doesn't make sense. But
Because
anyway,
they have relationships in most movies.
it just doesn't make sense. I don't want to see these people fake get it on. I don't know. Anyway,
They have
it was a
love
good episode,
interests.
man. And you know, it went into the relationship between what was it, Bill and
Frank.
yeah, Bill and Frank. And you know, it was the end of the world, you know what I mean? So, you know, I guess that had something to do with the decision to go that route. But in the game, they just I don't think they outright said that they were a couple. They kind of like just glossed over it, but I think they were. But this one they went more into it to talk about the couple a little bit more in Last of Us. So it was, whatever. I'm just, it's just not my thing. But it still was a really, really good episode, man, and how they delved into that couple and that relationship and everything. Because it's the end of the world, so you kind of, want to see how people would deal with those situations. You know what I mean? So, and it was crazy how he was dealing with it. Wanted to still paint the house, wanted to do the garden, dude. Like, man, you crazy. On mine, he probably should have smoked, dude.
Right.
He probably should have just killed dude. You know what I mean? Because he was, he was the problem. And then in the end, he ended up getting sick. Oh, spoilers if you haven't watched it. So, you know what I mean? He ended up being the one that he had to take care of. So it was wild. You know what I mean? So I don't know if in those situations, I don't know.
Well, no, he wasn't the one being taken care of. He was taking care of the dude.
That's what I'm saying. Frank ended up taking care of the dude that he ended up bringing in. So pretty much his worst fears was not to bring somebody in to care about him and lose him. And that's exactly what happened. He probably should have just stayed alone. Most of the stuff that happened to him, he probably would have happened.
That's true.
But
he also probably would have never met or came in contact with
that's right. He wouldn't have, because then dude wanted to.
He wouldn't have had any friends or anything
he
like
wanted
that.
to have friends come over. Like, it's the end of the world. What the fuck you need friends for? But anyway, DC Studios announces Supergirl, Booster Gold, and more. They got a 10 film slate, but I think it was 5 movies and 5 HBO Max series. Um,
Supergirl.
yeah, Supergirl is gonna be one of them. They're gonna tell the Supergirl story of her being left on Krypton and having to make it on her own.
She
They're
gonna
gonna
be
do
left on Krypton.
something like that, like she was left, and she comes like she went through a harder life than Clark Kent. You know what I'm saying? It was tougher for her.
So it's gonna be totally different than the TV series
The TV series,
Supergirl, where they said she was sent to watch after Clark Kent, but she
right?
made
Yeah.
it here
This a different.
24 years later.
This a different comic book art they going with.
Okay, that's
So-
why I'm like this whole story. It has to be totally
Yeah.
different if she's being left on.
They do the origin
Krypton.
stories so much all the time, but
Yeah,
this
that's
this
so
run
dumb.
this run was by this one guy who did a run because they do a run and they'll stop and then somebody else will take it over, and then he'll maybe think, hey, let's do it a little differently and make our story a little different. That's how it is. Everybody's taking over the comic book. They're not going to keep it the same as it always been. They're going to do their run and do it the way they want to do it. But they also got this Booster Gold, which I'm not
It's
going
gonna
to
be
lie,
whack.
that sounds terrible.
He was the worst character.
He's terrible. He's horrible, dude. He sucks. But if they can make him good, kudos. They got a 10-year plan. Following the announcement, several of the comics that the upcoming adaptations are based on quickly jumped to the top of Amazon's bestsellers list. That's pretty dope. Including 2018's Batman by Grant Morrison, Omnibus Volume 1 and 2005's All-Star Superman. At the time of this article publication, the paperback for Tom King and Bilquis Evely's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, is still out of stock. That's the one that they're going to make the movie off of. And while other titles such as 2011's Booster's Gold, Past Imperfect by Keith Griffin, J.M. DeMatteis, and Chris Batista have limited quality. So his ain't selling out.
Let me say
At all.
I know y'all gonna give
Nobody cares about Booster Gold, man. Get the
y'all
hell
gonna
outta here.
say something about this. So of course I still been watching Superman and Lois,
And nobody cares.
but here's the thing they did different though was you know who Tal Rowe is? So they made it to where this rich man Morgan Edge, he was a fake, but he's Superman's half brother because his mother was doing stuff with another dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they made it seem like he was. How do I explain it?
That's terrible.
So the dude, okay, he's older than Superman, but
Right.
his mom was with somebody else, then fell in love with
Oh my
Jor-El.
god. So man, get out of here, man.
So basically, Mama was a hoe
they
and
got
had a baby by
Superman
somebody
on,
else.
Man, they got, man,
Right.
that's messed up, man.
Yeah, she left dude with Jor-El, and she said I fell in love with Jor-El or something like that. Did his mom? So basically, the basis of the first season is just him trying to make Kryptonians on Earth because he had this machine where he can put the minds of
What the
Kryptonians.
hell?
It's hard to
Are
explain.
you talking about Zod?
No, it's not Zod.
Man, this shit sounds terrible.
Zod died easily. So did Bizarro.
Man, that shit's terrible.
They killed Bizarro easily.
So the comics did really well, and we had a lot of people talking about it online. But it was a good day for DC Comics, man. They sold out some books, man, and it's something that haven't been doing too well in. But all together, you're going to get Superman, Batman, and Robin. You're going to get Waller, Green Lantern, Swamp Thing, Booster Gold, The Authority, and the Creature Commandos. All will be coming out with projects.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah, Swamp Thing's gonna come out with a project, another one too. They did toss that last project that we thought was decent,
The DC show.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing
You
show,
can't find it nowhere. It's not on HBO Max. It's nowhere.
It's nowhere.
I don't
They
even-
took it
just-
completely
it's just
down.
gone.
Yeah,
So
they
I don't-
ghosted it.
and it was a decent show, man. It's one of their better ones. So I don't know. They're just weird. You got anything?
This week, there's a couple things
Entertainment news.
going on with in and around Arizona this
Right.
week.
What we got?
Starting off Arizona's Fun in the Valley,
Right.
we're gonna call it.
Mhm.
There's Ballet Arizona.
Okay.
It runs from February 9th
Mhm.
until February 12th.
Okay.
You can find ticket prices listed on AZ Family's website. The 9th annual Conquers in the Heels is today. It's today. They do have, I think it was going from like 11 to 5 or something like that today, or not sure. And then we have the Arizona Renaissance Festival
Okay.
that starts today
All right.
and it runs until April 2nd.
For sure.
So those that do like to get out there and dress up and
Yeah, I haven't been to the Renaissance Festival, man. I just, I always felt like it was gonna be a lot of white people, and I'm really like,
but it's
don't wanna
really
be
not.
I know
It's really
I've
diverse
seen a
for
lot of
the
yeah, I've seen a
for
lot
the
of brothers going.
yeah.
So, I was like, all right, I might try it one day, man, but who knows? I don't know. That ain't my era, G. I don't wear no nights, and that's not my era.
And then, I mean, with this being festival season, there are a couple things coming up: the Aloha Festival,
Yeah.
Caribbean.
Yeah.
I think there's a
Those are all great festivals.
jazz
Never been to any
festival
of them.
coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just this is just mostly the time and season for Arizona to be doing festivals, given the type
Yeah,
of
the
weather
spring is the
that we're
spring.
having now.
That's
So
when we get to do all the festivals in the
Mhm.
spring. But I also wanted to tell you guys, make sure to if you enjoy healthy snacks, make sure to head over to our website, habarientertainment.com. Click on the Naked Nutrition banner in the top, browse and get some healthy snacks there. 15% off your first purchase. And not all proceeds, but a part of the proceeds will go to us, you know what I'm saying? And we will be using that to build our second podcast. So help us out a little bit. And that's always a good thing. And also we got a couple shows I wanted to tell you guys about that's gonna come to the Valley. We got Subtronics announces a show at the Phoenix Raceway on April 29th. We also got we got Shaq. He will be here. I think it was it the 12th?
the Shaq's Funhouse.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I think
Funhouse.
that is Super Bowl weekend.
Yep, that'll be a talking stick. We also have the Sports Illustrated the party, and that would be, I think that's on the same day also. We got the Chain Smokers and Machine Gun Kelly on that one. Let's see what day this is, and if I can make sure. The 11th. That one's on the 11th, and I think Shaq's on 12th. You got the Chain Smokers, Machine Gun Kelly. You got a lot of different things there, and that's the Sports Illustrated party will be at Talking Stick. So check that out, man. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be going on this weekend. These coming up weekends for the Super Bowl. Everybody's going to be here, so make sure to check those out. The tickets are a lot of money, so you have to be rich anyway to go. So,
and don't forget to get your Beyonce tickets too if you want to go on.
Man, I ain't man. You got to be that girl ticket so expensive, man.
You done sold both arms and legs.
Man, you got to sell.
I ain't going to that concert.
Man, nobody can afford to go see Beyonce, bro. I get it,
I
man.
mean, the Lil Wayne ones are cheaper. They're like $209 per ticket.
Yeah, when Lil Wayne coming next weekend?
No, May.
May.
Oh, okay, for sure.
So like me, I'll have time to save up for it.
Yeah. So what we got next?
Game. We can do Hot Mess.
All right, let's do it.
Get ready for the week's Hollywood Hot Mess with Iesha Rowan.
This week's Hot Mess is Neo and his ex-old lady.
Yeah, man.
They have been in the news as their divorce has been finalized.
Right.
And according to legal documentation obtained by TMZ, Neo is paying his ex-wife, Crystal Renee, a $1.6 million lump sum to balance out the division of their real estate holdings.
This is the reason why people don't get married.
She's going to get one of their 4 Georgia homes and $20,000 in moving expenses. Neo also pays Crystal $12,000 a month in child support, even though they have 3 kids together. And he will also be covering the children's school expenses, as well as $5,000 a month in alimony for the next 3 years.
This is the reason why these girls will do anything to be with these athletes. This is the reason why they do these things, man. And yeah, these athletes and singers.
And he's also paying her court costs and fees and everything like that, even though she is the one that filed for divorce, totaling that ticket out to $150,000 in court fees, costs, and everything else.
Well, hey,
She, even though she's the one that, like I said, she's the one that filed custody.
that's highway robbery, bro. Somebody call the police.
They also put into their divorce agreement that neither one will be able to have a new romantic partner around the minor children unless they get married, engaged, or they get the okay from the other parent.
Okay. Whew. Yeah, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. And this is all because Neo has allegedly fathered another child during their marriage back in August.
He was cheating.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll do it. But all right. Let's take a quick break, man.
Come back with the game.
Come back and we'll play the game here. Habari Live is in the house again. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna talk about this real fast before we get into the game here. We got Kyrie Irving wanting to be traded from the Nets. I'm sick of Kyrie Irving. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. That dude, he is the biggest crybaby, man. A lot of people love him. You know what I mean? Whatever. I'm cool. But I'm sick of this dude. I wish they would just trade him, get rid of him. I'm sick of him. Just play ball. Chump. He get on my nerves, man. I just don't like that dude, man.
Get ready for the week's
God,
Hollywood
man.
for loot.
He's whack, dude.
Sponsored by
No one. If you
No
would
one.
like to sponsor us, we do have sponsorship packages available starting at $100. Please do inbox us or email us at info@habarientertainment.com.
Hey, the Suns did get a big win though. We were able to beat the Celtics the other day in a good game. That was a good game.
We're playing Detroit tonight.
We're just a 500 team, man. But at least we're starting to figure out some things. But still, I hope they trade him to the worst team in the NBA. That's what I
Lakers?
hope they do. They ain't the worst team. Don't hook that chump up and make him go back with LeBron. Like put that punk in Orlando or something where he gonna cry and not get what he want and retire. Go home. I hate him, man. I swear to God, I do not like Kyrie Irving. The word hate is deep, but I don't like him business wise. He's just whack. Anyway, play the game.
All right. Question 1 in Trivia for the Loot. This president officially recognized Black History Month.
I don't know, man. Nixon?
No.
I don't know.
Let's get
I don't know.
That would be Gerald Ford.
I should have guessed him.
I told you. You're going to learn a lot today in the game. Next question is, the idea of Black history originated from this noted scholar and historian. That's sad because we just talked about him.
Mhm.
That would be Carter G. Woodson.
I never heard the dude before you said his name. I didn't know you was talking about.
All right. Next question is, Negro History Week
Why are you saying so
began
hard? No,
being celebrated in what year?
I don't know.
1926.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't learn shit about Black history, as you can see. It's absolutely nothing. And then they try to take away even more of it, man.
The next question is, these two countries celebrate Black History Month in October.
I have no idea.
That would be Ireland and the United Kingdom.
How would I know that?
It's such
What
an awkward day
country-
of trivia for the man.
Man.
Today's so awkward.
Awkward as fuck.
What country celebrates Black History Month in February along with the United States?
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Japan.
Canada.
Oh.
You got some hard ass questions, man.
No, I just took Black History Month questions and just ran with the trivia questions they had. This abolitionist was
That doesn't mean they're
born
hard. I don't.
during Black History Month.
This abolitionist was born during Black. I don't know, man.
That would be Frederick Douglass.
Yeah, man, that's hard as fuck, dude.
Which brings us to our next question. What day is also known as Douglas Day?
Emancipation?
No.
I don't know.
February 14th.
Fuck is that? Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day is known as Douglas Day. Yes.
Where? Who, when? Where? Anyway.
The next question. In the UK, Black History Month began being celebrated in 1987, which coincided with which three events?
What?
The UK started celebrating Black History Month in 1987, which coincided with these three events. You were old enough to...
I'm not from the UK. I don't know nothing about the UK. Like straight up, you asking questions about the UK, like I don't fucking know. But anyway,
The 150th anniversary of the Caribbean emancipation,
how the fuck would I know that?
the birth of Marcus Garvey, and the 25th anniversary of the Organization of African Unity.
I never heard of this shit. You picked some hard ass questions. You knew it was just gonna be us. That was hard as hell. Fuck, that wasn't fun at all, man. Shit. Anyway, all right, man.
Going into more recent history, how many African countries celebrated Black History Month for the first time in 2020?
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
That would be 7.
All right.
Beginning in 2021,
Yeah.
African History Month began being celebrated in what month?
African hit. I didn't even know there's such thing as that.
That's why it just said beginning in 2021.
I don't know.
That's going to be March.
All right. Did you know any of this shit?
Most of it I did know.
Get the
Yes,
fuck out of here.
I did. But there was a lot that I didn't know. Like, let's see, for example, the African Black History Month. I did not know that they started celebrating African
Who
history.
would know that except unless you
last year,
unless you
2
was
years
in
ago.
Africa?
We do news. We report the news. It probably was an article or something written about it during that time.
All right, man. That was a ridiculous question, dog. That was hard as hell. But all right, let's keep it moving. You got anything else today?
No, that's it.
All right, man. I'm getting up out of here. Fucking vibes horrible. I'm going home. Outro.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next week. Peace.